Sylvester Stallone's life story began with an unthinkable challenge that shaped the man we know today. Born on July 6, 1946, in New York City, Stallone entered the world in a charity ward under complicated circumstances. During his birth, forceps caused severe nerve damage to the left side of his face, leaving him with a drooping lip, slurred speech, and an incomplete facial expression. This physical deformity would become a lifelong source of pain and rejection, starting from the very moment he was born. His parents, Frank and Jackie Stallone, were a turbulent pair, and young Sylvester's condition only added to the chaos in the home. His father's harshness and his mother's obsessive desire for fame made Sylvester feel like an unwanted child. As a result, he grew up feeling neglected and abandoned, a childhood of rejection and struggles. Stallone's childhood was a series of misfortunes, largely marked by neglect and rejection. By age 5, his parents had divorced, and he was sent to live with various relatives. At school, he faced ridicule from his peers due to his speech impediment and facial appearance. The kids would mimic his speech, making him the target of bullying. Teachers overlooked him, often assuming he was slow or incapable because of his slurred words. This bullying became a source of deep anger for Stallone, who learned to use his fists to defend himself. His emotional pain and frustration led to his expulsion from over a dozen schools. He wasn't a bad student, he just struggled to fit in. His childhood made him resilient, but it also left deep scars that would take years to heal, battling depression and isolation. At the age of 16, Stallone was sent to a private school in Switzerland, not out of care, but as a way for his mother to rid herself of him. Alone and isolated in a foreign country, he found himself sinking into a deep depression. Struggling with the language barrier and loneliness, Stallone became increasingly withdrawn. He often considered ending it all, seeing no way out of his overwhelming sense of despair. But deep down, something within him refused to give up. Whether it was stubbornness or sheer will to survive, Stallone's inner strength helped him persevere. He returned to the United States without any degree or prospects, but with a single and stubborn dream. He wanted to become an actor. Little did he know, this dream would soon lead him into one of the toughest battles of his life, the harsh reality of Hollywood. Stallone's arrival in New York in the late 1960s was far from glamorous. Armed with just $40 and a duffel bag, he faced the ruthless world of Hollywood with determination. Auditions were brutal. Directors rejected him based solely on his appearance and speech. He was often told that his face and voice didn't fit the standard of what an actor should look like. Undeterred, Stallone took on odd jobs to survive, including cleaning lion cages at the Central Park Zoo for $112 an hour. He lived in a run-down apartment, sometimes even sleeping at the bus station. At one low point, desperate for money, he was forced to sell his dog, Butkus, his only companion, for $50. This heartbreaking decision would haunt him for years, but it symbolized the extreme lengths Stallone was willing to go to for survival, a fateful decision rejecting fame for integrity. When Stallone brought his script to Hollywood, the offers came pouring in. Producers saw potential in Rocky and offered him significant sums of money to sell the script. But there was one condition: Stallone could not star in the film. They wanted big names like Ryan O'Neal, James Caan, or Burt Reynolds, actors with the commercial appeal and marketable faces. that they thought would make the film a hit. The money offered was more than Stallone had ever imagined, but he refused to let anyone else play Rocky. To him, the character was personal. It was his story, and no one else could bring it to life. Even with the offers climbing to hundreds of thousands of dollars, Stallone held firm in his decision, ultimately agreeing to take a much smaller sum for the script and the opportunity to star in the film. It was a gamble that could either make or break his career. The struggles of filming Rocky with a tight budget and an even tighter timeline. Rocky was filmed in the cold winter of Philadelphia with borrowed equipment and inexperienced extras. Stallone, working without a safety net, had to write scenes on the fly and choreograph fights in his head while battling sleepless nights. Despite the odds stacked against him, Stallone's determination and commitment to the character of Rocky were unwavering. The moment he received his first paycheck from the film, he tracked down the man who had bought his dog, Butkus, and used the money to buy him back. This symbolic act marked a turning point for Stallone, who had fought through countless hardships to reclaim something he loved. It was a moment of redemption, a small victory amid the larger battle for his career, the triumph of Rocky and Hollywood's redemption. When Rocky premiered on November 21st, 1976, critics were skeptical about a low-budget film about a boxer. However, audiences saw something different. They saw a reflection of their own struggles and dreams in the story of Rocky Balboa. The film became a cultural phenomenon, grossing $225 million worldwide and winning the Academy Award for Best Picture. Stallone, once dismissed by Hollywood, was now nominated for Best Actor and Best Screenplay. The success of Rocky not only changed Stallone's career, but also solidified his place in Hollywood. He had gone from being an invisible outcast to becoming one of the most recognizable stars in the world. His rise was a testament to the power of perseverance, and he had earned it with every ounce of his being. The rise of an icon. Following the success of Rocky, Stallone's career exploded. He became one of Hollywood's biggest stars, with Rocky II, 1979, earning $200 million, and Rocky III, 1982, making $270 million worldwide. The character of Rocky Balboa became a symbol of resilience, while Stallone's portrayal of John Rambo in First Blood, 1982, introduced the world to another iconic character. Rambo, a traumatized Vietnam War veteran, struck a chord with audiences and helped propel Stallone into action hero stardom. By the mid-1980s, Stallone was one of the highest paid actors in the world, commanding millions per film. His face graced magazine covers, and his name became synonymous with power, strength, and resilience. Yet despite his success, Stallone knew that Hollywood's adoration could be fleeting, and he would soon face new challenges. The fall from grace. As the 1990s approached, Stallone's stardom began to wane. The action hero era that had made him a household name was over, and a new wave of actors took over the box office. Stallone's sincerity and earnestness were no longer in demand. Films like Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, 1992, and Judge Dredd, 1995, were panned by critics and flopped at the box office. Stallone found himself struggling to find work, with his asking price dropping dramatically. Once a top-tier actor, he was now reduced to making low-budget films and appearing in projects that were ignored by the public. The fall from grace was swift and painful, and Stallone's financial and personal life also suffered as a result. His career seemed to be over, and even he began to question whether he would ever be relevant again. A new beginning, Rocky Balboa. In the midst of his personal and professional struggles, Stallone found new inspiration in the character of Rocky Balboa. Drawing on his own experiences of aging, loss, and trying to find relevance in a changing world, Stallone wrote in Rocky Balboa, 2006, a film about an aging boxer who faces not only physical decline, but also emotional battles. This deeply personal project became a critical and commercial success, proving that Stallone still had the ability to connect with audiences. Rocky Balboa was a return to form for Stallone, and it marked the beginning of a new chapter in his career. It was a reminder that, like Rocky, Stallone had never given up, and that sometimes the greatest battles are those fought within oneself. Legacy and resilience. Today, Sylvester Stallone stands as one of the most iconic figures in film history. His legacy is defined by the characters he created, Rocky and Rambo, but also by the indomitable spirit that allowed him to overcome rejection, failure, and personal loss. Stallone's journey is a testament to the power of perseverance, and his story is one that will continue to inspire generations. He may have faced countless obstacles, but like his most famous characters, he never stopped fighting.